I was having some back surgeries in the mid-2000s, and, as you're sitting there on painkillers, and you're thinking about your life, and you're asking yourself, what did I not do? What was on my bucket list that I didn't get to? And then I started asking myself why I didn't get to those things. And I realized that it was basically three things. It was the stories that we make up as to what we think we can or cannot do.
Right.
It's our ability to engage others in conversation so that they will follow us and do what we need them to do. And then it's also about direction. So what I learned was, velocity, when you hear that word, what's the word that comes to your mind?
I think of fullness and being contained.
Okay.
And something that's consistent.
Consistent, and that's your definition of velocity, which is great. And also, would you agree that speed is probably involved in that?
Probably.
Yes. When I ask my audiences, what's the word that comes to their minds, they all say speed. At the end of the day, the reason why people just think velocity is speed because it's about motion, but that's not velocity. The physics definition is speed with direction. So I started thinking about this, and I'm saying, what stops us from getting to where we want to be?
What stops us?
People don't go after the right direction or the destiny. First of all, if they create a story as to what they think they can do or not do, or their fears take over as to what they think is possible, or the past drives the future, all of a sudden, whatever destiny they're going after is no longer as powerful as it could be because they're already limiting themselves. For salespeople, for example, if someone comes up to me and says, hey, I've been after this account for the longest time. Finally got my first appointment. I said, great. What's your sales cycle? How many calls does it take? About 5. So this is your first call. Yeah, great. Congratulations. What's your goal? Close the business. Let me see if I get this straight. You're saying it takes 5 calls to close a deal, but in your first call, the goal is to close the business. And they say yes. And I said, well, congratulations. You probably will be out of there after the first call and you won't be welcome back because you'll be closing, you won't be asking questions, and you'll be talking too much as to why they should buy from you. So a good destiny for the first call would be to qualify whether or not it's the right opportunity for you and for them, and then together create a path forward as to what they need to see in order to close the deal. That's a good outcome, a goal. But if you have the wrong destiny, meaning close the business, which is not going to happen in the first call, your actions are not going to lead towards it. You're going to be pushing too hard, and you're going to be talking too much, and you won't be asking the questions you should be. That's why destiny is so important. It makes sure that our actions are the right actions to help us get to where we want to be. At the end of the day, what is the outcome that I want to achieve? And don't let it be limited by any of your limiting belief systems, by any of your fears. Don't think that just because I only did this in the past, it's what I can only do in the future. It's not true. You want to really go after that bucket list. What is it that you want to achieve? And then look at the gaps that you have and say, what do I need to get in order to achieve that? First of all, you want to identify what is the end result, like a pilot. If you go to Newark Airport and you're going to Fort Lauderdale and the pilot happens to be there and you say, where we're going, and he says, well, wherever the winds take us, would you stay on that plane? Probably not. But a pilot starts with the end in sight. Fort Lauderdale, that's the right airport. It's the right destiny.
Right.
Then they work their way back. They find 2 or 3 waypoints. They know if they're flying over those destinations, they're on the way. Start with the end in sight first. Work your way back. What are the 3 key things that have to happen where I know if I'm doing them, I'm on my way? And then at the same time, what do I have to take into account in terms of obstacles? Pilots take into account storms, winds factors, and at the end, they have a flight plan that gets them there the safest and fastest way possible.